I have in front of me the new Fitbit Ionic. This is the watch for $299.95, is competing with the Apple Watch. So they're going after the Apple Watch market, and I can't wait to open it up and show you guys. I'm going to do a full review later after I do just talking about everything that this watch does. So let's give it a look right here, just the box. All right, let's open it up. So there it is inside the box. Fitbit Ionic. You got paperwork right there. It comes with two sizes of watch bands. So this is probably the larger one. This is the smaller one, or vice versa. We got that in there right there. I'm gonna take that out. Feels really good. Nice feel of the rubber there. Okay, and comes with the charging cable. And bring it up to the camera. Nice aluminum. There, looks good. Okay, so let's get talking about the watch. So the band in here is actually the small one in the box. So this one is the small band. They give you a small and a large, and the large is actually on the watch right here. So right here we have our we have two buttons on the side, 1 and 2. For your settings. We also have one button on the right side. Okay, of course a glass front. Your sensors in the back for your heart rate. Very nice. And also that's where your charging cable goes. It's a charging port right there. I've got the Fitbit right here along with my phone because I'm going to go ahead and start it up here. Okay, let's see what this thing can do while it's loading. It'll track how many steps you've taken, what distance you've traveled, how many calories you've burned, how many minutes you've been active, heart rate during rest and activity, and how well you slept for the previous night. Okay, so you can change watch faces. You can see the watch faces here, so you can change some watch faces. Looks like they've got some really good ones. Okay, get notifications at a glance. So this is so you can set up your notifications. You can shut off the calls, text message, and calendar events. They're on by default. So you want to be aware of that. You want to optimize your workout. So it's got a built-in GPS. So you can set pace, distance, and routes during runs and rides. So you don't need your phone for this. You can just have it leave your phone at home, and it's got the built-in GPS, so it will know your distance and track you. So that's really a great feature, especially for a watch in this price range. You want that. Sports mode. Okay, so you can use workout modes to see real-time stats on the display, so that's really good. Smart Track automatically records runs, walks, elliptical, and other workouts. So this is really good that when you just automatically start something, it will already track that and know whether you're doing a run or a walk. And that's really perfect because a lot of times you have to set these. Swimming, you can track duration of laps, distance on your swim. So a lot of swimmers out there, it's going to be great for that. Okay, listen to music. You've got Pandora in the US only, so remember that. Sync your stations for offline listening, so that's really nice. You can also do personal music up to 300 songs from your own collection. That's good. You got apps, so you can enjoy popular apps. You're going to have an app store coming. Right now, you're going to get a few defaults like Starbucks, Weather, Strava, and App Gallery. App Gallery will have more apps coming future. All right, pay as you go. This is a future thing. So in the future, we're going to be able to use this like you would any Apple Watch or Android phone, but it's going to have tap to pay. So it's going to be using that technology, NFC technology, I would imagine. Okay, while this is loading, let's look at the charging cable that they give us. So, looks like regular USB connection on this side. And this side connects to the back of the watch. And of course that's going to connect. It's magnetic, so that fits nicely. That just hangs on there. Okay, while this is loading, let's go take a look at this in comparison to the Apple Watch. So this is a 42 millimeter, so this is the larger Apple Watch. And I wanted to kind of put it in comparison to it so that we can see kind of how it's going to compare to that. We've got the watch together like that. It's going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit wider. So obviously the display on the Apple Watch is going to be, it's a really nice display, so you're probably not going to get the same resolution, but it is a beautiful display on the Fitbit Ionic. And we don't have it fully started, so it's really not a fair comparison right now. Just to show you how it looks. Now this feels really nice on my wrist. One thing that they noted was that the sensors are really flat. So it's a good feeling that's going to be on. I mean, this does not have any raise. Now on the Apple Watch, you can see that it's raised on. And as you can see, I can put that on and you've got this metal clasp that just snaps right in. And this display is outstanding. I really am impressed. It has a great display. I would say it's comparable to what I see in my Apple Watch or any other premium digital watch. Okay, so I've had this watch a little while now, and I have been testing it. And let's talk about design. So first of all, this watch right here is made with nano molding. So they call it nano molding because it molds the plastic pieces with the aluminum pieces to make a seamless waterproof design. And it is light, so it's good in sleeping. So when I sleep with this watch, I notice it's very nice. And another feature of it, when I lift my arm when I'm sleeping, if it knows when you're lying down, and the screen will not come on automatically to wake you. So that's a good feature, I think. Another great feature is the band. So on the Apple Watch, you have a button that comes here, and you have to press that button to get the band off. This watch has a little bit of an easier time because the button is right here, and all you do is press down on that, pops out really easily. A little bit easier than the Apple Watch even comes off. So very secure. Display. The display is an LCD display which has 1,000 nits. So you're able to see this very well if you're outside. So 1,000 nits is pretty bright, and with the LCD display I found it to be a nice screen. The heart rate sensor. Heart rate sensor is right on the back here. And of course it's flat, so it gives good readings. I found it comparable to the Apple Watch. The readings were pretty dead on. I found it a little slower to get the heart rate reading, but it worked really well. It seemed to be very accurate. The other thing it has is an SpO2 sensor, and that one will monitor your oxygen level. So it's not something that's embedded in the watch. There's no app for it, but eventually it'll be able to check for sleep apnea and things like that. Right now they haven't done anything with that sensor, but it's there. It's in the hardware. Another thing that this will do is glucose monitoring, but that's going to be in the future. So it will have the ability to do contactless glucose monitoring. I'm going to put the link below in the show notes, but it's a company called Dexcom. So in the future they're going to work with Dexcom to, and I don't know if they're going to have a band or how they're going to implement this, but you're going to be able to do glucose monitoring with this watch. That's their future plans. So I don't know if it will be with this sensor or they'll pair with a different kind of band, but that's what they're planning on doing. Price. This watch is $299.95. Comes in 3 colors. So the band and everything comes in 3 colors. So we're looking at blue gray, silver gray. So they got a blue gray and silver gray. They've got a slate blue and burnt orange, and a charcoal and smoke gray, which this is charcoal and smoke gray. So that is that. You're going to have some replacement bands that you can buy, which you can add on a leather band for $59.95, and then the other bands are $29.95, and that's a sport band and the classic. You can pair this with a Fitbit Ionic Flyer headphones. I didn't get those, but they're $129.95, and they're made to work with this watch. You can use, I think, regular Bluetooth headphones with this watch. It won't be a problem. Okay, so we're looking at the watch right now. So if you step through this, you've got steps, beats per minute, and calories. So this is your default watch, and you can change this watch face to show different things. I found some issues with loading the watch faces on, and I'll talk about the pros and cons coming up, but that's what I found there. If I swipe to the right, you've got your today, which will give you your steps for the hour, beats per minute, and resting beats per minute, how far you've gone today, calories, floors, active minutes. So that's really, I think, great. If you hit this button on the side, you're going to get back to your home screen. Okay, so let's go to the music app. So the music app, I was not able to load any music on it, and at Ars Net Technica, Valentina Palladino, she was not able to load any music. The only thing that I also found out was that, and I'll talk about this later, is that you can only do it with Windows 10 computer or a Mac. So that was another issue that I learned when I called them up. Okay, so the exercise app, if you go into that, you have all the nice images of people doing workouts. I have done some of these workouts, but if you go to a workout, you can show that you can customize certain settings. And if you just want to start a workout, you go ahead and do that, and it will track your heart rate. All these stats you can go ahead and customize, which is kind of nice. And it will vibrate when done, and you can go ahead and end your workout right there and give you a nice little summary. So you just click done there, all good. Coaching is very neat. So this is, you come with 3 defaults. We're supposed to get a 4th one, which is dynamic, but this is really neat because it'll walk you through a real workout. So you've got real people showing you exactly how the workout should be done, and you can just step through that to the next one. And when you're done, it will vibrate. So that's really nice. And it'll show you the next step and what you're supposed to do for the next exercise. And you can just keep going with that. Now if you hit the flag, you're telling it you want to end the workout. And we'll give you a nice summary as we talked about. Okay, Relax is a breathing app. So it just basically walks you through breathing, and you can just relax, and it will take you through deep, slow breathing. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this in a minute, but it will just guide you through this relaxation. The Apple Watch is something similar, and it's good for if you have high anxiety and you want to just calm down for the day. It will tell you to inhale and exhale, and it's vibrating when it's doing this, so it's really kind of neat. Okay. So the other thing you do is you have Pay. So you've got NFC Pay. So this is called Fitbit Pay, and it's not working yet. So this is something that's going to come in the future, but right now that's Fitbit Pay. And you've got your timers, just a normal stopwatch and timer, as you would have with most watches. Okay, alarms, you can set your wake up alarm and things like that. No problem. So settings, of course, change the brightness, 1000 nits of settings. You can change all your Bluetooth connection and things like that right in the watch. Pandora doesn't work right now because you need a paid Pandora subscription. So I don't quite like that because I do not have a paid Pandora subscription. You are not going to be able to use this particular function unless you pay for Pandora. So I wasn't able to test that. Weather seems to only work when you enter a location. So I enter Tampa, but if I'm in a different area, it will not do current location, which I found to be a flaw, even though the app said that it will do current location. So that was interesting. Strava, I did not sign up with Strava, but if you sign up with Strava, it will link to that runner's app and different exercises and community of Strava. It's very nice to have that. Anyway, Starbucks app, I tried to get it working and it didn't work immediately. So a lot of the things I found is when you're activating certain items on the Fitbit app, you will not get them to automatically sync up with your watch because it takes a long time to load. Like this was yesterday, I did this and it finally worked. So my testing was very good. I did notice a lot of good things so far and some things that weren't so good. But steps seem to be very accurate, just like the Apple Watch. Heart rate seemed to be accurate. Sleep tracking was amazing. That was probably the best feature I really enjoyed, was sleep tracking. When I was sleeping and I wake up and I can get the stats on how much I slept and how good my sleep was, so it tracked my awake, REM sleep, light sleep, and deep sleep. And you could see that all with the Fitbit app. So the Fitbit app is probably the best feature of this device, that you can sit there and it's cross-platform, so it'll work with iOS, Android, and Windows phones. So if you have any of those platforms, you're going to be able to use this any Fitbit actually, but definitely the Fitbit Ionic. You can answer phones with this device, so you can sit there and answer the phone, but it will not be used as a speakerphone. So if you answer the phone on here, you can answer it, but it picks up on your actual phone. So that's if you're used to a smartphone that can actually talk, this one cannot. There's no speakerphone. The watch face took a long time to change, so that was one thing. So when you went to it, you could just go to it and you can change the watch face, but I have not been able to do that because it takes too long to do. It's not instantaneous. So what are the pros about using this device? Heart rate monitor is flat and feels really good against your skin. Sleep tracking is amazing. You can sit there and sleep track. It doesn't come on when you lift your arm in bed, so that's a great thing. Battery life is 4 days. It has 195 milliamp battery, which will last the 4 days. If you're using GPS constantly, it will only last 10 hours. That's one thing. Band will come off easy, so that's a good thing. Fitbit Studio. It's not on the watch, but it is a developer platform so that apps can be made for this device. There you can code it in JavaScript, CSS, and SVG. There's a review process which they make it really easy to share the apps you make with friends and family and then post it onto the site to go ahead and do that. But the App Store is coming, it's not here yet. The exercise app has full color pictures with real people, and the coaching has using real people as well to show you how to do exercises. You can customize workout data fields when you're in the workout. That's also a great pro. You got that swipeable portion in the middle. So you've got the guided workouts with the Coach app, which is really great. And it will vibrate when it's done. So that's really nice. When you're done with each set, it will vibrate. Let's talk about the cons. Pandora app you have to pay for. So on this, you can use Pandora on this, but the Pandora app you can only use if you pay for that Pandora app, so it's not free. Starbucks app did not work for me the first time, and it took me a day for it to load the actual card that I had on it, so I wasn't able to test that. That took a long time for things to load. So anything you use the Fitbit app to load on the apps and do that seems to take a long time for it to actually become a reality on the watch itself. Ars Technica had issues with the faces loading and taking a long time. I still haven't been able to change the face on this watch. The weather app did not work the first time I did it. I entered, I started the weather app and it did not load any data. I eventually put in a location that loaded the data eventually, but it will not do current location as far as I can tell. So the wallet for contactless payment is not working now. It's supposed to work in the future. So if you want to use NFC to pay, like Apple Pay, they're calling it Fitbit Pay, that is not a reality at this time, and that's going to be in the future. The music app is another negative. The music app only works via computer. Text notifications. One thing about the text notifications, it does actually work. It's really interesting. You can get it, but they're very basic. They're text only. You can't reply to them. So they're in color, which is a plus. They're text only. It seems like a very early, this would have been acceptable years ago on a smartwatch just to have the notification there. But now with smartwatches like the Apple Watch and everything, we're used to being able to reply and get more robust text notification. One of the other negatives was Fitbit Coaching only had 3 workouts. So we were not able to get the fourth one, which was the dynamic coaching, which they promised. So that is not ready yet. So this is the thing about the fitness app and the fitness coaching. You're going to have to start paying for these items later on. So it's like they give you a few free, and that's fine. But to get any more, you have to pay. So it seems like this watch is $300, and you have to then pay for more fitness apps. Should you buy this watch? No. I think you should put your $300 into something more robust. This is not ready for prime time. This is a great fitness watch, and it does have great fitness capabilities, but they're not all ready yet. And for a smartwatch capability at this price range, you are not getting the experience that you would get with an Apple Watch. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem, I would stick with I would go with an Apple Watch. You can get them for $330 to start with, an Apple Watch, and have a much better experience. So I think I would recommend that. And if you're in the Android ecosystem, I would just get a comparable Android smartwatch that will give you a lot of the features that this has. But if you want a straight workout watch, you know, go for maybe one of the lesser models that are cheaper. You can get some things with that. But I do not think this is in the smartwatch category, and I don't recommend it for the price that it is right now. I would wait till they get everything ready on this watch. I think there's a lot of negatives in the sense that you have to pay for a lot of things that aren't natively available right now, and it doesn't seem like at launch it's ready to go.